All right. So welcome back. This is Payload Pat. Another episode. It's probably be a shorter one. But we are working together, and getting, ramped up for the CKA. So this is another series of the Cadence. And today we're gonna be going over JSON path as well as setting like custom columns. Haven't done this one in a little bit, so this should be a fun process to work through. And this is just good for pulling information from like a pod, and having it neatly presented to you in the like the command line, or you can export that to a file and it'll be visible that way. So that's the whole essence of it. So JSON path is just a way of pulling that data from a pod, maybe like the pod's name or the pod's IP address, or even a creation date of the pod or something of that nature. But as we go into the lab, you'll be able to go ahead and gain and find some shortcuts that I find helpful for me in using JSON path. So hopefully you learned something. And yeah, if you haven't already, like and subscribe, and tell us how you like the content, so we can keep improving. We'll just knock these out real quick, just a brain teaser for those here. So for this question, please set the context. So we've set the context already. We already know we need to do that for every question. And it's telling us to run a pod called looper using BusyBox image that runs the while loop. And this pod should be created in the default namespace. So pretty straightforward. It gives you everything you need. So we'll go ahead and start off with a k run in the pod here. The dash dash image is going to be BusyBox. Then it's going to do a dash dash for to run a command after the pod is created. And we're going to be running a while true command, right? So before we can just simply paste in that while true, we need to do a shell -c for command. And let me copy this. And then I'm just going to put in some quotation marks. And that's pretty much what I'm going to run. Does anyone have any questions, as far as what I just done? Because I probably went a little bit quick on that.
I do.
What's
So
up?
so with you using the dash dash uh space shell, would the same thing would have worked if I would have did like dash dash command space dash dash and still put that command in there, or would that not work?
Yeah, I believe it would. In fact, let's try it out.
Okay.
I don't like using the command because it always gives me problems, so I just avoid it. Um,
Then you gotta do yeah.
Yeah, do dash dash. I don't never put sh by it. I just do like
oh,
dash. Yeah, after
just like
command
that.
space dash dash. You
What?
do.
No,
I don't know if this is gonna
That
work, but let's try it. I mean,
I did.
you gotta put
That's,
dash dash after command though, then
oh,
run your command.
oh,
But
okay.
I don't know where that worked on here,
See,
but that's
why,
what
like,
I've
what's the
been
point
doing.
of doing a dash dash command and not having anything? I just rather the dash dash and I just reference the shell -c and it usually works. But let's give it a try. Let's see what it does. Um, but this is why we do this, so we can really experiment and see. See, I'm getting a
uh,
crash loop back up. There's a problem.
Yeah,
But
cause normally they don't have you to put like
see,
your
now let me
you
try
go
this.
ahead. Somebody trying to say
that
something.
space command. I've
Yeah,
never done it. It's supposed to be a space between it. But then I don't know about the dash dash after it. I never did it that way.
the
Yeah,
dash
that's how
dash
I've been running all
What
mine.
No, I
what you
don't
do?
know. Eh, So wait, it's you said it's a
Yeah.
space like here?
Nah, I normally kept mine dash dash command.
Yeah, it
Then
has
I,
to.
I put
Okay.
a
It's been a
space
while
and
since I
dash
did it.
dash, but you have to remove the quotations. I
But
think.
I also
I don't
do
know
the
if you.
shell. I do the shell though.
Yeah, I do shell too. But let's try it. So you said
I do dash.
remove the
That's what it is. I do
dashes.
dash.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what this does here. So
Oh, since it's a while loop, it probably ain't gonna work. I don't know.
really like it. So you see how I avoid that. So forget all of that.
Yeah.
Shell -c. Put this up. You have to put it in quotes. If you don't put it in quotes, it's not gonna work.
Right.
So remember that. So shell
Gotcha.
-c. I do. This is my way. It's fail proof for me. It's easy for me to remember. Um, I hope I'll say that now. And the shit says failing or something. Okay, cool. It works, right? So for those who are doing this right, how are we going to check our work? Because every question that we get, we need to find some way to check it, right? So how can we check and see if this actually is running? What
We
would be
need to
the
describe the pod.
to describe the pod, and what is that going to do?
I mean, it tell you a lot when you describe it, as far as if it's up and running and all of that too, in the events at the bottom.
So I got an event and says it was running, started, pulled successfully. So what do I know that that command is running with that
Nope.
command? All right. So what command would I use, or what how would I find out if this thing is actually
You have to
running?
go in.
What
I guess
was the command? Oh,
you have to go inside the pod. If I'm
You
not
have to go in the
mistaken.
pod. Yeah,
Like you
you
have
have
to
to
use
go in.
the exec command.
So you want me to do K exec? Okay. Uh-huh.
Dash IT.
Yeah, there's IT.
What you gonna use, shell or bash?
Ship. I think it's Bash. It's like is it SH? You still use SH for that, right? Though, right?
You can, yeah.
you gotta put the pod
I
name.
would never recommend using Bash, to be honest, because Bash it may or may not be on that pod or in that container. Because remember, everything as far as super lightweight, so they're not going to have additional packages
Yeah.
or programs, but Shell is going to be on every single version. So I always
Mhm.
just use Shell SH
See,
as a
the last one. Oh well, I guess yeah. Okay.
yeah.
I think the one I
So
was
The
doing,
okay.
SH,
I
the
needed
Uh-huh.
bash.
SH, you can and then you can actually do the command, do the same command, or do like another test command if I'm
Okay,
not
you don't do
mistaken.
that.
You gotta put the pod name.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
you got to put the pod
you gotta put the
in
file name.
shell or well, I
Okay, so I'm listening to you guys, so I'm following every one of your steps. So I got K exec minus IT.
then it
I
Mhm.
will
should be
put the pod name
there should be
first
the pod name
before
next.
after IT.
So put pod name. Okay, we're gonna do pod name. All
Mhm.
right, got you.
And
And
then dash
then
dash shell or bash whatever.
dash dash shell
Oh
or
shell,
bash.
shell.
Okay, so
Sorry.
yeah, we're not gonna use bash. We're gonna use shell. Moving
Yeah,
forward,
I'm so
everybody use
used to
shell. Yeah, just to
Yeah,
avoid
that's
any potential problems.
sorry, I'm just bad with that.
All right,
and
and then what else? So I just press enter.
Yeah, let's roll with it.
you can put enter and it should log you in, or you can actually put the command.
All right, we in there now.
Yeah.
So we're in there. So what command do we want to run?
You can do you can do the echo,
Oh, PWD. Oh, Echo, yeah.
or can you do a PS to see if the actual command is running? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's definitely a method of doing that. But
Yeah.
Hey, can we just look at the logs though of the
Right.
pod and see
Oh,
if it
look.
run?
that's what I've been waiting
Oh
for y'all to
yeah.
do. Y'all did
Yeah,
all the
the
work.
K
Oh,
logs. Yeah, I
How
forgot
much
about that.
time did we
We could
lose by doing all of
we
that?
lost
K
a lot
logs.
of time when we could have just checked the log of the
I
pod.
oh, you talking
forgot.
about K logs and then the
K
pod?
logs. That's right. That's right.
Man, I need to start getting used to the logs. Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? So
I haven't
I let
been
y'all
doing it
do
in a
that. You know what I'm
while. So I
saying?
forgot.
I'm gonna let y'all do that because at the end, this is a real life scenario. So you guys can literally see it's loading. When I did the dash F is following the actual log now. So it's
Right.
gonna continue to do it, right? So you gotta be smart. Is yeah, there's a million ways to cut the cat, but we don't got time to, pluck every hair off. If we can just cut the head off and go from there, right? Not to be
Right.
graphic or anything, but you get my point. So yeah, those are multiple ways. You can go through that. Do the. I love the way that you actually did it, Brett. When you pretty much looked at the actual what processes are running, which is pretty good. But to save that, don't do it. But you could also do this. Well, Brett was mentioning as far as instead of just running shell, you can run the actual command that you're looking for. So if you want to do like a PS, um, you can do like EF or something like that, right? And look, we can also get that without having to do the login and then do that as well. So another way to do that same command. But there's again multiple ways. But let's save that time in skipping unnecessary steps if we can. So that's always a good way to look at it. But great work. Um, all right, cool. So this is gonna move on to another question, and then we'll go to the JSON path stuff, which should be probably coming up soon. So let's go and decode the existing secret called beta and is created in the beta namespace, and then store the decoded content inside the file opt beta sec CKA arch whatever, right? So I'm not doing this for myself. I want you all to go ahead and walk me through it as well. Like we're gonna do that all night. Everyone's gonna be pretty much contributing as far as the answers. So let's do it. So who wants to take this one, or what's the first thing that we need to do?
Um, are we in a default namespace right now?
Are we?
Hey, yeah, because you already switched the content, so we good on that. So
Wait,
do,
Brett,
do,
how do you check if you're in the default namespace?
Oh, K get namespace. Okay, get yeah, K get namespace if I believe.
Um,
No, I
yeah.
think KK namespace just lists out all the namespaces in the cluster.
Yep. So if we do KG namespace, it's just gonna list all the namespaces that we have available.
Oh,
So
true. Oh,
um
oh, what if you uh never mind, go ahead.
nah,
I
I
can't
think
think of
it
it. I wanna say K get can you get
is it like
oh yeah, can't give it is it view?
is
like
it current context or current context or something?
yeah, I think it's like that.
I don't know its current context. Go ahead and
I
try.
thought it was.
I think I was right.
I know current context. I can't remember. I just went over there. I can't remember if it had the namespace in the look try
You
to do
config
K config view real quick. All right, and then go up and see. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't think it showed what namespace you were in. It's in.
Yeah, can we
yes,
try
it
K
does.
config
It
current
does.
IP context?
Yeah, current context.
It's right here. So
Yeah.
this is how you can check if you're in the current context. Another tip, a tip that I would have for you all is to go. This is I only recommend to like set one shortcut in the exam, and it's going to be this one right here. So let me do Kubernetes docs short cheat sheet, and it's this one right here. You don't need anything else. All that other gibber jab, yeah, it's probably a work, whatever. I don't care. You need to know this one here. It's at the bottom, very easy to find, and this here, copy that bad boy, just the one at the bottom. And reason why I say that is, look, I do this alias. I set that alias kn. If I do kn with no argument, what it's gonna do? It should echo. It should have echoed. Copy the right one.
Okay, you put a space.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you just put k with no argument, it should tell you your namespace. I don't know why it's not doing that. Kn. I'm gonna do kn default, right? But nonetheless, even if you don't want to check, you can always do this, right? And it will always set. I guess it didn't have anything to read in the past, but if I do kn cube system, now it's switching me to the cube system namespace. So if I do k get pods,
Mm.
I'm in that namespace, right? No, I'm not. This is not the cube system namespace, or
Oh,
is
cause
it?
you may have been switching to the cluster 3 one
I'm in
maybe.
cluster three. I'm in cluster three right now. Um,
Okay.
but let me see, because you should be able to set your namespace.
Oh
It's
wait,
I think it's
you
like
are
with
in
the
the cube namespace because I see core DNS. You in the cube system namespace
I
right
am.
now. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see
because I
core
know it's
DNS in
KN.
there.
I know it's KN. So KN is the one that you want to be in. So if you do
Yeah,
K
yeah, even
get,
the
so if I do K, for example, so KN back to default, right?
metrics. Yeah.
That,
Now you're in
and
the default.
now if I do K get pods, I thought I just saved it. I just thought I just did K get pods, but now you see. So now we switch
Yeah.
namespace, our context. So if anything, if ever you're in doubt or confused, this is the only one that I thought that, in my opinion, is the useful one. That's like, okay, I can use this if I need to remember to set my namespace. But remember, it also is you have to be mindful of it, because you may create a pod and you may not have changed your context. So always do a kn, check where you're at first, and then you'll
Mhm.
know, okay, I'm in the default namespace. Okay, now I can answer this question here. So now in this case, if I do kn beta, now if I do create look at the secrets, if I do k get secrets,
Mhm.
I should be able to get the secrets in that namespace, right?
Yeah.
I won't be able to get in the other namespace. So now I can just go ahead and work and do what I got to do. And then the next question, I can set either back to default or whatever, you know. So that's just a quick tip that I have for you all. It works for me. It may not necessarily work for you. You probably feel more conscious of still doing the minus n. You know, that's fine. But it's just something that may accelerate your your process. So we need to decode that existing secret and store the decoded content inside a file. So we are in the right namespace now, and we need to decode the secret. So how can we decode a secret? What's the steps to that?
We got first. We need to go in the location where the secret is, right? Like, do we need to describe it?
Let's go ahead and describe it. Okay, describe secret data.
Man, I had to go look at the docs for this one, because I think it
You
was
know,
like a
you don't
base
need the
60.
docs. You don't need the docs for this one. It's hey. Who is this? This is I know who this is, dude. You're giving away the secrets. No, we're gonna get to the JSON path. Hold up. I want to do this one
Oh,
first. But yes,
oops.
JSON path is why we are here, right? But he's right on it. But
Yeah, I don't
let's
know
figure
that.
it out. Let's
Oh, so can you get the secrets or describe yeah. My
you
bad.
say
I had to do something else. But yeah, I think that I would say describe secrets. My bad.
well, we
That's what I
did that
meant.
already, and this is the output.
Oh, okay, there we go. So, oh, okay. Can you do get secrets and then output it to YAML?
Sure, we can output
I
YAML.
think if we want to use the JSON path, we'd have to do JSON, right?
Yeah. I want them to figure this one out because I think this is this Desire. I'm sorry. I mean,
Yeah, that's right.
Desiree. Desiree. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mine is it's all
I
over
don't
the
think
place.
I don't think I'm that part into getting the JSON path or what have you. So,
So this is YAML.
unfortunately.
Okay, so we got it here. All right. So now what?
Okay, so that's the secret right there. So you can actually get that particular. Ooh, I'm
Don't
trying to
second guess.
think.
Don't second guess. It's don't cause more confusion. Kubernetes is already confusing. So the more confusing, the additional confusion that you put into it, it just makes it worse.
You can
So
pretty much get that particular secret in base 24 or base 64 and then reroute it to that particular op file that we doing it. Now I'm trying to figure out if we actually go ahead and um put the actual secret, like the beta that in that arc will have you put that I'm sorry, put that pipe base 64 and then route it to, or not sorry, and then not pipe it but send it to the op beta arc, what have you one. That's what I'm thinking, but I can't remember how that
so
is. I
so
might be on
let's
the same. Go ahead.
so you're pretty much there, but let's just take a step back.
Okay.
So let's just take our time on this. So it's telling us to decode an existing secret. So we have the secret file, we located it, we're in the right namespace,
Mm-hmm.
we outputted the secret to YAML, right? And where is the secret? Tell me where the secret is. Where's the key and the value? What's the key value here?
Data. Oh,
Yeah,
keys.
it's in the data secret.
Okay, so it's in data and then it's in secret. And then this is the secret here, right?
Yeah, that's the secret right there.
Okay, all right. So you mentioned something about base 64. So how can we use now that we have the secret, how can we then
Uh,
use it with the base 64?
crap. What's that command? It's a command that you use. I just can't think of the command to decode it.
Okay, so let's go
Just
ahead.
echo it.
So we're gonna echo it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
I need
then
to echo it, pipe it.
Type
and then
Is it?
base64 decode.
There we go. Okay, I couldn't think of
64
it.
minus D is for decode, right?
Okay, boom.
Think.
And
Oh,
then, and what
So
you
now
can
we
do,
can
you could do
rerun
that,
it
and
and
then you can route it to
direct it.
the yeah.
Right. That's all we need to do, right? Okay, so now let's do that here. And then if we cat that file, remember, whenever you do this in an exam, cat that file, make sure it's showing up exactly as it's supposed to. So don't
All
forget that. Every question that you answer, double check it, man. This is the biggest thing is to double check your answer, double
So
check
what's
it.
the shortest route? Because I thought somebody post something in the chat, man. Like
Yeah. So
JSON
now
path.
I need the shortest
Yeah, the
route.
JSON path one. That's one. I was like, I don't know about that one yet. So
I mean,
this is the best way I could do it at this point.
shorter is whatever you make it. You know what I'm saying? If it's shorter for you to go, he said, I don't know if that's right though. Okay, well, we're gonna walk through it. I'm not even gonna show the answer there. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but let's actually walk through it. So let's do this. Okay, so now remember we were doing the JSON path stuff, right? So if we do a K get secret, right? So first we need to go ahead and get the secret. Um, Then we got the name beta. So K get secret beta, right? It's nothing we are gonna get. We need to get more details on that. So right. So to do that, we can do K get secret, um, and then output. We need to output it to JSON first, right? And I'm gonna show you something a shortcut. So output JSON. If we go ahead and output a JSON, okay, that looks good. That's in JSON format. Remember, we were talking about, okay, this is a, like a dictionary. So it's a list of, it has its own set of things in here, right? Each, different like properties. So my shortcut is to pipe this into JQ JSON query. So if we just do this, it's just gonna make it look pretty, right? If we do a minus C flag, I forgot what it means or whatever, but I think it's minus lowercase c or capital C. I think it's a minus C, lowercase c. And then I put paths. It's gonna be may not be the easiest thing to remember, I promise you, but it's gonna be worth it. Look at that. So with this is telling us, right? If we're looking for the value in API version, I just need to go do dot API version. If I need to get anything with data, as far as a secret, if I just do data, it's gonna give me this, right? If I do data, it's gonna give me whatever is in here. It's gonna give me everything in there, right? However, if I'm just looking for the component within secret, I'm just gonna do dot data dot what secret, right? So let's do it. So um now that we kind of have that, right? And then you can also grep whatever you're looking for. So I can grep for secret, right? I like to do minus I, right? That's telling me my answer. I ain't had to do all that extra fancy stuff or anything. I just need to remember to output it to JSON, then JQ the path. So now that I have that, right, you're like, okay, what does this mean? Like, what does it matter, with this? So now that I have that, I'm gonna go ahead and just do this. This is the legwork that I'm doing. So, and the more work you do, the more you're gonna get used to it. So JSON, it's on path, right? So now we need to do this. I forgot, was it like this? I haven't done it in a while, but now we know it's not gonna be. We know what it is. We need to input these two values. So dot data. Let's do a dot data first. Oh,
You gotta put that equal sign in front of Jason
you're right.
Path.
All right. Good catch. Equal to dot data. And what we got the secret, right? But it's not looking for that. It's looking for the actual value of the secret. So now I need to go another layer down. So now the other layer down is secret, which is going to pretty much provide me my value. So if I do dot data dot secret, we got.
Look, that might be the reason why my stuff ain't been outputting. I feel like I had my quotes on the outside of the curly bracket, but I'm not
I think
really
does
sure.
it work? I don't know. Sometimes I do a lot of awk, and awk is very similar to this. So if you haven't tried awk and you did this, yeah,
Oh,
it's the
I
same
guess it
thing.
still do work
It
either
does the
or.
same thing. So this is pretty much how awk is. So if you're looking for learning awk, JsonPath is a nice way to get into that. But is that easier for y'all? I think this is the easier way for me visually. So if I'm looking for anything like, okay, the UI, if I need to get the UID, I'm going to do what? Dot metadata dot UID. And what I'm going to get that. So you can also do
Yeah, I
this.
think it do help you find the paths that you're looking for a lot faster
Yep.
with that definitely versus trying to look through all that JSON looking for your path.
Oh, you know what? My bad. Sorry. It's this way. No, this this may or may not work. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. But this is what that is. Go here and pipe it base or we're gonna get that. This is a secret again. So that's my plan in doing it. So you initially go through you just regular JSON and then you just convert it to JSON path. So you don't have to like continuously like try to figure out okay what is it, what is it, what is it, because you can just get yourself in a loophole. So it's the easier way. What does everybody think about that? Has anyone knew about that, or is it look like it's more helpful or it's more confusing than before? Let me know.
So for
That
me,
right there look pretty straightforward.
Yeah, for me previously, like the way you broke it down now, I was like, help me to understand it because previously when I see this like continuous strings, dot this, dot that, it always throws me off. But the way you've broken it down as to how we see the parts and then how we nest it to get the value, I think it was really helpful. Thanks.
No, my pleasure. Yeah, this right here is like, where do I start? Like, okay, API
Yeah.
version. So
Yeah.
it's like, what? So data,
Yes,
like, I don't even
sir.
know.
That right there been making me sick to my stomach.
So look, now you have it. This is the secret sauce right here. I saw this one day and I was like, I've been doing it wrong the entire time. So that's it. So I'm glad we were able to go. Oh, did I move it over? Yeah, I think we did already solved it. Um, Nonetheless. So this is a little bit different. I mean, we can go over it. Yeah, y'all want to do it continuing like this or what? Let me know. That's
Yeah,
our
because
fine.
I feel like you can always throw some JSON path stuff in there anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
true.
all you doing is just looking something up for real.
Yeah,
But if
actually,
you
we're gonna
do
find
something
out.
else,
We're gonna use JSON path to find this stuff here. So yeah, I think we can integrate it with these questions.
is one JSON path that I need you to work with is the I think it's the filter one. How you filter something. You
Um,
know, you know with the filter when you do use JSON path and they got like the
I ain't
question
doing all that.
mark.
I ain't doing
Oh,
that.
you don't never do none of that.
Why would I do it? I'm not doing that. I don't need to.
Okay, okay. Well, I
No,
just thought we had to
I
do that. You know what I mean?
nah, man.
The
I know which one you're talking about. You're talking about this type of stuff, right? Like all this. I'm not
Yeah, man.
doing
I was
all that.
thinking the whole time like I'm supposed to be doing using that to try and filter, but basically it was just trying to tell me just to
I'm
query
not.
through the
I mean,
information.
this is definitely useful. So if you're parsing through like millions of users and you're looking for a specific, but at that point, I mean, I'll just use the documentation to find something similar to that. You know what I'm saying? But an
Cool.
exam is not gonna
So
go into that.
basically just do it the way you was doing it to get the answers that we looking for and be done with it.
Yeah, that'll do the job, bro. I mean, if
Gotcha.
you're looking at some, you have more problems if you're looking at something that is like nested. Like you have bigger problems to worry about, as far as that, if that's the case. Um,
Cool.
so just for don't worry about that. You good, man. So
All
let's move
right.
on to this question number three. Yeah, make it simple. Keep it simple. So this one is a pod. It's called this has been created in the default namespace. So remember what namespace are we in right now? So we're not in that default namespace. So are we? Did it change again? I don't know. It probably did. Let me do kn default. I don't know. Doesn't it should reflect it every time, and it should tell me where I'm in. But yeah, I haven't really used this much, but I found it helpful when I was doing exam. So we're in the default namespace. Let me do kget pods. Let me get pods and see what we got. So we have the color app, right? And the default namespace is pod logs can be accessed using kubectl logs, right? Which we've already done. And this is minus F, so it's following it. So it's going to continuously update, right? Every time. Me not even see that it's updating, but it is. It's adding one every like couple seconds. Okay, cool. So let me clear my screen. And then now it says it's currently displaying colors pink. Of course, update the pot definition file to make use of the environment variable. with the value green. So let's go ahead and do a kgetpods, right? Kgetpods, and then we're gonna kgetpods color. Somebody said something here. Let me see. Who said something? Yeah. Oh, I left out the parentheses. I was wondering what the world why it wasn't working. I think it's three. It's three of them though. It might be three. But yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to do. I haven't tried that one too often, so I was just trying to experiment. But that was an epic fail. But yeah, I'm gonna try that one, and we'll see. We'll see what happens if we have another secret question. But thank you for that. Let me go back here. Oh, he said something else. No problem. Yeah, of course, man. You got it, brother. Okay, sorry guys. So kget pods, and then what we're gonna do, kget pods. Let's just output what? Output JSON, right? Because we're doing straight JSON path. I spelled JSON. Um, right. So now this is the stuff that is looking. Oh, now this looks pretty scary, right? I'm like, holy crap! Like I don't even know where to start again. Why is it doing that every time? Freak. Let me reload it again. I'm using in my Mac, and I'm like using my two fingers to swipe left. But let's go back and do the same thing again. So kget pods, finance names. Oh no. Output. YAML. I mean JSON. So let's go ahead and do the same thing. What should I do to get to do the command I was doing before?
You
Remember
did like the pipe.
pipe.
Yeah. Uh,
Mhm.
you did shit, man. Hold on one second.
No problem.
Uh, we did
What do we make it
J.
to make
We need to do jQuery,
jQuery? So jQuery JQ.
and
This
then
is
we
the
need
only
to
one that
do
you're gonna have to
path.
remove.
We need you did path, but I don't know. Did you have something before path or not? But
Yeah.
I remember the word path
So,
was there.
so remember just remember JQ minus C
That okay.
paths. Remember, we're looking for the path of whatever we're looking for. So I don't know how you guys can memorize that easier, but
Uh,
JQ minus C. Or
I'm gonna
any
remember that as just command.
yeah, just remember JQ minus C paths, and then that should give you the whole thing, right? This is where it gets a little bit interesting too, though. So um now what we're looking for, now we see things like projected, default mode sources, and all that stuff, right? So we can kind of disregard that. But what we're looking for is what? That color thing, right? So the thing that says, let me grep minus I, and it says env. We're looking for environmental variable. It says that there was a environmental variable with the value of green. So I can just grep that. And can I grep green? I don't think it's going to do that. It's not going to show it because it's not going to show the value. But we are looking for env, right? Right. So we have spec dot containers 0 env. So why would it say 0? 0 is indicating that this is what, a list, because we have the first entry. So we can have environment variable like environment 1, 2, and 3, because we can have, say we have three environment values. So it's going to say, okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So this one is just they're all 0. So this is referencing the same thing. um so let me try this, 'cause I haven't done this in a minute, but let's see how we can do this. So like let's go ahead and go back to output JSON path, and then equals. So we're going to do quotes and stuff in there, and then we're going to start with dot spec, and you can just do it like this. Okay, right? Dot spec, and then we can do, okay, under dot spec. So now we're in spec, right? So now we're literally through all of this, right? So now we're in dot spec, dot spec, dot spec, and env here is containers, right? So now we're going to do dot containers. So we're going to go down another level. Containers. So dot spec dot containers is going to slow it down, right? So now if we're looking actually in here, we see what? We see env. Okay. So now we're getting somewhere. We're trying to get this value pink. So now let's go down another level. The next level is going to be what? If we're in spec dot containers, we need to go to dot what?
Would it be the ENV?
.env. Okay, but there's going to be something else too. So let's see what we get. Now what? It's not.
So
It's
what's
not
that zero there for?
I think we gotta put the 0 in.
Yeah, you got
at
that
zero. Okay.
behind.
Remember, it's containers. Then what? Zero. Then env. Let's see if that works. Nothing, huh?
Hey, so what you need to do? You need to put a square bracket behind
Huh.
containers and put the zero on the inside of it.
Huh. Really? Oh, okay. All right. Let's see what I
Well,
do.
I would remove the dot though, so that
Oh,
the it can be right there.
huh. Oh, what we have here? Oh, okay. So that means that this is a list, right? So
Yep.
this list is showing, okay, so and within this list we have a dictionary, and that dictionary has two like has that value, it has a name and value, right? So in this case we're looking for value, so we can do spec.containers. It's the first entry or zero in this case, we're starting at 0, 1, 2, 3 .env, and then okay, so now I need to do dot what? Name is one and then value is the other. So which one should I put after .env?
I would
Value.
go with value
Value.
because we're trying to get the color.
Hmm. Oh, but if we look up here, what does this say?
Oh, we got name first. Name got to go in front of it.
Oh, it's a list under environment as well. So we gotta add the env bracket 0
Oh, we do? Okay. Bracket zero. Let's do that. Let's see. Zero.
dot
And
value.
then value. That makes sense for you guys now. Follow this. This is the truth right here. Everything. So if you see it here, okay, so spec dot containers. Since there's a zero here, we're gonna put these together. And then we're gonna put it in brackets in the env value. So say it was like we had another value in there, right? Instead of using zero, we can use the wild card.
Yeah, put the star in there.
We put the wild cards in there, right? And that would give us a whole list of other things that we have as well. It will just break it down that way. So just make it easier for you all. I know it's probably like it's still confusing, but the more you practice it, the more it'll make sense. But once you understand to find the way that it's like laid out, this is the hard part right here, and it's doing it for you. So now you can just do dot spec dot containers. Make sure you put in that list because it's a list of containers. Because say there's two containers in there, so now we got to do 0 or 1. Say we were looking for the second container or the sidecar, right? And we just put 1. And then the environment, this can be the first environmental variable. There can be 3 environmental variables. So you can put 3, right? And then that'll be the third one that'll give us. But remember, it's nested under the dot name. Well, no, the dot value. So you'll be good. So as long as you do that, you're fine. And if we do this dot name, it should give us a name, right? So just word practice. But I know this question was very straightforward, very easy. But let's answer it. Let's solve it. Actually, now that we've done that. So what do we need to do in order to modify an existing pod? What should we do? What command?
Hey, edit pod name, then just change it in the YAML in the
Okay.
manifest file.
Okay, edit pod, and then what? Put color app. Okay. All right. So you know what I need to do. Let me know where
Change
I.
that value, go back up to that value where it's pink, and you can just change it to green.
All right. Let's do that. Matter of fact, let's get it even more interesting. I forgot, was it like S? I'm not gonna do it. So keep it, keep it. So, all right, cool. So now I got that. Okay, I'm gonna save it. So colon X.
Oh, that's how you save it. Oh,
Yeah, that's how I save. You can do WQ and all that stuff, but I just do it's less letters and numbers. Colon X. All right, so now, okay, so it says, wait, error pods is invalid. A copy of your changes have been stored. So it's saying it's invalid. So what do I need to do now? Because it doesn't look like it made any changes. If I go to edit pod, it doesn't affect anything.
what I would do is I copy the temp file from the changes, but I go ahead, and copy that, but I
Mhm.
delete the current running pod so that I can go ahead and run the temp, do a
Okay, create.
qctl,
I would
yeah,
just
and
make
create that
sure
file from the temp.
I would make sure the temp did actually get changed. So I'd do a vim or a cat,
Okay.
the temp
Cat.
file.
All right.
We'll check that value. See it's green, so then go ahead and
Okay.
k replace dash force.
Oh, so okay, replace dash dash force. Okay. And then what
The
else?
dash f.
You can also incorporate grace period as well, equals 0, because you can still do the force, but it still sometimes can take 30 seconds for that pod to actually delete, then recreate itself. So to save me even more time on exam, do the grace period equals 0. So whenever you're doing a force, just do grace period as well. But anybody knows what the replace is doing and why it's
It's gonna
better
delete it.
than. Hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna delete it and run the pod, the file that you got in store. But sometimes I just thought like if the file ain't the same name, it wouldn't work. But I'm not sure about that.
No, because you're deleting that file and you're replacing it. I'm telling it to delete. Um, oh wait, no.
I,
No,
I
because
don't
what
think it's
happens is
gonna
what
do
it
it.
does, no, it is going to do it because when you
Uh,
look into the file itself,
mm-hmm.
the name of that resource was the same. So
Okay.
when it looks in the manifest file, it says, okay, the name of this resource is color app CKA 13, whatever. Okay, delete that, then replace it with this. So it's going to replace, although it's a different file, whatever, it doesn't matter because it notices that the name of that resource is the same. So now it needs to go and replace. So we can do that. So now it says, look, it told you, okay, that pod was deleted.
Cool.
It only knows that because it looked through this file and said it matched that name. So it's looking in the configuration for that. And now it's replaced. So now if we do a K logs minus F to follow it, no, this is kind of long-winded, but it's this we're getting more value at answering multiple questions in one question, which I think is super valuable. And what it's saying color is green. So that was a good a good practice question there for us. So we learned a little bit more about JsonPath on a more complex and more real life format of a running pod. So that was pretty good. So you guys did an amazing job on that one. So let's move on and see what they're throwing at us now. How are we doing on time? We doing good on time? 9:17. Okay. All right, cool.
Hey, this gonna be my last question, PJ. I gotta
That's fine.
take a break. I've been going at it all day with this stuff.
Hey man. It's always it's you know your limit, so don't worry. We're good. I'm probably exhausted from all this work I did today too. I did a 2-hour show before this on
Oh
YouTube.
wow.
Yeah, so that was for work though. Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and answer this one. So this was something that I was asked in the exam. So this is a good one. So find the node across all clusters that consumes the most CPU and store the result to the file in the following format. I love that. This is a custom file, so this is actually not bad. Well, cluster name and node name. So we can probably make this question, which is not hard, a little bit more complex just to get us properly prepped. So what's the process of doing that? How can we find the nodes across all clusters that consumes the most CPU? So what's the command and what's the process to do this?
So can we just do like K get nodes? If I'm not mistaken, I would put like all namespaces, dash dash all namespaces. Um I feel like that top, is it the top command that actually need, can you add the top command to that to check the node? Is it top?
You want to put
Uh
top in there?
I don't know, man. I'm just shooting out something, but I feel like it was one of those.
I
I
think it's
can't think of what
k
it.
top nodes.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
There's a command specifically for top. So in this case, we're going to use the resource nodes. Ah.
Get
on
rid of
what?
all namespaces. Cool.
Top nodes. Now it says all clusters. Okay, so now what cluster is it showing right now?
1.
Cluster one. Okay. All right. So we got the top nodes there. So first, I would recommend us do this. So dash dash sort by. Sort by is very helpful, and you're gonna sort by CPU. So now you can see it didn't. It was already like I guess in order.
So I got a question then. So if we do like K get nodes, if we get K get nodes, it's gonna show you all your nodes across all your clusters anyway.
No,
So we missing something.
it's only gonna show us the nodes within the cluster, the context of the cluster we're in.
Oh, okay. So that's all they speaking about within the context.
Yeah. So that's why we need to know what's going on in the entire all the clusters, right? So so yeah, so we got the top nodes for cluster one, right? Um, let's see here. Let's see. Okay, so K top nodes. What do I need to do in order to look at the other nodes?
Let's go to dash dash help because I have the slightest idea right now.
Um, it's not really giving us much. Oh my goodness, why am I doing this? Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so K top nodes. So you got to remember this, right? To do dash dash context equals reference clusters by that. So we can do cluster 2, 3, to 4.
So there's no way you can get them all at one suite.
I mean, you can do some bash scripting to
Nah, that too much. Just
yeah, you can do what
so
yeah,
pretty much we'll need to view our context to know how many contexts we got further in, right?
yeah, you definitely want to do that because you do need to make sure that you know the amount of context that they're in, so you're not missing out on anything. Mm. Oh, it's two brackets. Cool. So yeah, so what would be the answer in that? And I'm not good at bash like that, but I'm curious now. Let me try this. So let's do so K-top nodes. We'll just use this one, right? Regular. Um, so you can do K-top nodes. So for I in $, goes right. Do echo $. I don't know. Let's see if that works. Oh, $, and I don't know if this is even gonna work. Oh, it does. Okay, so it only gives us. So I is telling us I is what name? Name CPU cores. Okay. K top nodes dash dash. Oh. So I probably gotta do like some awk to pull the first value out. But yeah, that'll be a lot of work. But anyway. But yeah. So going back to what we were doing, right? So K top nodes context. Um do cluster one, cluster two, cluster three, and then cluster four, right? And then we can do K hit nodes and it should tell oh and we have actually 3 nodes and then we can do K-git clusters as well. You know, Is it clusters? I think it's like clusters. Certificates, clusteral bindings. Okay, config, view, context, I think. I believe it's context or something. But anyway, we're kind of getting out of I'm getting out of the way for that. Um, two, three. Oh, but what we could do, Terrell, though, is we can do. Let me clear my screen. So K get context one. You're not getting like an and then we'll just have to like copy and paste it, like to do two, and then and three, and then and four. So that would probably be your best bet, Terrell. But in this case, what's the as far as this format, what is the um cluster, or what node has the top CPU, the highest CPU?
Look like that. Oh, right now it look like the control cluster one control plane.
You sure?
You say it got the highest CPU or
Oh yeah,
CPU
yeah. No, no,
percent
no,
on
no,
the
yeah.
board?
I'm actually
Yeah.
looking at. I'm looking at the wrong. Am I looking at? Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong thing. My bad. You're right. I'm looking at memory. I don't know why I was looking at memory. So wait, let me see. 99, 68, 22, 90. There's a clear winner, yeah, as far as 500. So yeah, cluster one control plane. So now that we have that right, we know it's cluster one control plane. It says we need to get what does it say? Cluster name and node name. So what's the name of the cluster?
Cluster one control plane dash control plane.
There you go. All right, and then it says also we need to get the node name. So wait, what's
Hold
the
on.
oh no, my bad. What's the node name? I mean so yeah, what's the node name?
Hold on. I'm kind of.
Cluster
I
one
guess I'm a
control
little
plane
lost.
is
I
the
thought
node.
cluster one control plane is the node.
So what's the cluster name?
That's gonna be cluster one.
There you go. Remember when we get the clusters, this one is named cluster one, right? Um, and then now that we have the cluster one and the control plane, we can go ahead and pipe that to this file here with file optinode, right? And then paste it, and we can just cat it just to make sure. Always cat your work, make sure it's working, and it's looking for the exact format here. So cluster name, the name of that cluster that we're in is cluster one, which is prepended to the control plane name, and then the actual name of the node. So if I do k get nodes, the name of that node, cluster one control plane. So just the easy way to remember that. So that's that. I know Troy, you say you got to go after this question, um, but I'm down to go to like 10 questions. If you guys are down to stay, um, probably speed it up a little bit if this is too slow for you all. But yeah, if you
Yeah,
guys are getting value, let me know. This is where it's at.
yeah. I need to run as well, Patrick. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, cool. Well,
Appreciate it.
you all next week,
Yeah,
and yeah, you guys continue lapping and asking questions. Thank you.
yeah. Thanks.
All right, awesome. Is there anyone here? Is it even worth? Well, we got people in here, so I mean, yeah. Let's I guess move on. Okay, cool, 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 cool. All right, cool. So we're back to another secret question. So, create a generic secret called secure, in the secure namespace on cluster three. Use the key value of color dark blue to create the secret. Okay, so we can create the secret imperatively, or we can go into documentation and create this declaratively. And the difference between declarative and imperative, so imperative is where you use a command line to create resources, so you can like quickly create them. Really good for the exam, terrible for in production. You never will be doing any, imperative commands in a real scenario, so don't even think about it. Um, and declarative is the opposite. It's slow. However, you have a manifest file that you can, modify and things like that. So when you do like a dry run, so you can use both. I would recommend using both. Maybe you start off creating a command, a job or a pod by using an imperative command, but you output dry run to a YAML file, and then that's when you have like your baseline, and you can go ahead and make your modifications. You save it, looks good. Then you upload that to your GitOps setup to where you're uploading it to some your GitHub or some type of repo that stores your configurations. So enough with that. Let's go and create a secret. So anybody want to go and volunteer creating a secret? And we'll wrap it up at 10. So wherever we leave at 10, we'll leave there. So if we
Hey,
can,
let's I'm still here for a second. Let's try the imperative way. Um,
yeah.
so we're gonna do K create secret. If I'm not mistaken, you need to put the name of the secret there.
So the name of the
It told you
secret.
to. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna do the name of the secret.
Uh, can we dash help, because I like to rely on that.
Okay. All right. So
That
there's
means
there's a
I
mistake.
did something wrong. Yeah. It should be generic, right? If I'm not mistaken, should be generic after secret.
Yeah, because there's three different types of secrets. As you see, there's a Docker registry. There's a generic secret, which we're going to be using, and then there's the TLS, which you can create a TLS secret. So we're going to go ahead and create a generic. And then following the generic secret, once we do that, um, it's looking for, and actually, before I put in the secret, we can just find out what's the next step by doing the dash dash help, right?
Cool.
And then, okay, so down here, usage, create secret generic, the name of the secret, and then we can do a type from file, from
We
literal,
we need to
dry.
do from literal
Okay,
after
so,
we put the name.
so, oh, and then, okay, so we did that. And then now you said dash, that's from literal.
Yeah, and now we can put the key value in color and dark blue.
All right. I know Desiree loves do it like this. So I know readability is there. So
I
I'll do
like
that.
with the equal
And
sign. I be scared.
I like the equal sign too. I don't know why. I'm just kind of used to it now because sometimes when you're like when it goes over to another line, you don't really know if it's like, it looks a little weird for me. But yeah, so does that look good? Are we all set, or is there something else we're missing?
uh oh, we need to put the namespace. Dash namespace, dash
Yep,
in, if I'm not mistaken, something like that.
yep, that's important. And I would recommend, at the beginning of every command that you do, and there's a namespace, put it first. K
Yeah.
minus N for the namespace. Because it doesn't matter if you do all the stuff after that, it don't matter if it's in the wrong namespace, it's wrong. The answer is absolutely wrong.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So you're wasting your time because that little piece at the end is like, damn, I did not put the namespace, you know? And even for more surety, you can always you don't have to do this, but you can do context equals clusters 3 as well. But you don't need to worry about that. This should work. Wait. Oh, wait, it didn't like the from literal. Failed to create namespace.
Oh, do we not have that name? We never checked the namespace.
So is it created or did I make a mistake? So let's do K get in S. I might have made a mistake. Wait, is it? No. So K create namespace. And the namespace you're going to create is this here. And when you guys, this is advanced, but when you guys get to things like there's this thing like cube admission controller, I believe it's called. There's a way where if this was something that was configured already, if it noticed that that namespace wasn't created, it will create one for us. But that's a whole nother topic where you can make like CRDs, which is like custom resource definitions and all that good stuff. But good catch though. So let's go ahead and try that, run that command again and see what happens. Now it's created. So get secret and its namespace.
Do a describe just so we can see what's in there.
Yeah. I'll do output YAML. I'm an output YAML dude, but yeah, we can describe it as well.
Yep,
So
there you go.
get secret and then secret secure and then output YAML. There you go. So now we can actually let's see what this secret means. So go this. I'm gonna try that again. Wait, he said it was in quotation again. Try this one first and then it'll tell me right or wrong, whatever. Two, two, base, 4.
You got to put it in parentheses.
Parentheses, okay. As well
After,
as the quotes.
yeah, the quotes there, and then
Okay.
after the two angle brackets, you do the parentheses and base 64.
Oh wait, like so after this,
Yeah.
it's like
So yeah, inside of it. Yeah. There you go.
wait, how I'm sorry, how to do it? Like
Yeah. Go all the way, backspace all the way to the yeah. Then go to the end and add one more there.
oh, this?
That should be good. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you have to bring them close. Sorry, no spaces.
oh no, please.
No
I
space
think
on.
it's on my end. Oh wait. Okay, wait, this one?
Yeah.
I think it's on me. It's something I did it before. I don't know what it was. I thought it was like I did
You sure it
3,
ain't asking for the what's the name on the inside of it? Cause it's acting like
or is it
in
just
in
sudo base 64 minus d?
I just ran this now. Let me see.
It's me. I know it's me. And I'm doing something like
Oh, the base 64 is outside of it. So you're echoing the base 64. So it's base 64,
oh
angle,
base
angle, and then
okay,
echo.
so base 64. So it's before base 64
Yeah,
minus d and then this or
yeah. Two of them, and then parenthesis, the echo.
okay, so see is it inside it like this?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think well, try this, but you might not the space between the angle brackets and the parenthesis. Maybe take that off. Yeah, yeah, this should work.
It's no biggie. It's okay. Okay. It's all right.
Figure it out.
It's all good. Um give me 1 second. It's so crazy. It's like it's gonna be super simple. Watch. Let me do it. Okay. So it should be oh, you know what I'm doing? So it should be like this. Let me see if this works. There it is. I feel like I
oh,
did.
so it should have been three of them.
Yeah, I remember I was doing 3, but I don't know why. But yeah, that's the way that we can do it. So, but it's neither here nor there. But it's mentioning dark blue, so it was the actual value that we expected it to be. So that's good. So, good work, guys. Nice. Yeah, that one's a pretty cool one. So, don't know what type of convenience it will make, but yeah, there we have it. We're able to go and do that one. So moving forward, okay. Remember, always set your context. and it's saying the blue deployment is having 0 out of 1 pods running. So let's see what's going on with that. So now, how can we do an investigation on this? What is your thought process, everyone, as far as the first thing you do? It's not a wrong answer on this. This is just curious about, because there are different ways to start off.
I would
Well,
I would go ahead and get deployment to see what's the error is,
Okay. So
or pod, can you do the pod? No.
yep, we can get pod too. So okay, get pod. Should start with that. So
Okay. Init error, initializing error. Okay, so I guess go to the log.
logs, bad
Okay,
request.
container engine as bad request. The pod.
Okay, so
Pod
what's next?
initializing.
hey, let's describe it. The deployment.
Yeah, go ahead and describe it to see what container, what image it's trying to use.
That's something very specific, right? So all right. So it said something related to what? So we got containers here. So was there something wrong with this?
Wait, it said init. Is there a
Right.
init container? Init container. Okay,
Oh,
so is it
okay.
init container? Busy box.
Okay. So it's busy box, and there's a problem with this container, right? So whatever the problem is, it looks like
Hey,
it's right here.
so
Yeah,
can we actually like look at the actual YAML template for this? Or
yeah.
does it really matter? But I would like to look at the YAML template.
All right, how we do that?
So you can
Hey, edit the deploy and the
do
deployment
edit
name.
deploy, or you can do get deployment, and then you can output YAML. You can do either way. It doesn't really matter.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna just do edit deploy. And whenever you feel uncomfortable or you like, I don't want to screw up this deployment with any make changes that I make, copy the file, copy this deployment, redirect it into another file, and then you can still edit this one, but you still have that backup just in case you mess up something. So that's a
Yeah.
good tip as well when you're doing it in a real world environment and do it for a test day. So let's go down here to where it says it said something about init container. So okay, here we go. All right, so we have an init container, and what is this container doing? What is it doing?
It's echoing welcome
Uh-huh.
in busy box. Um.
So so
Hmm.
so let's go down line by line. Tell me if there's any problems as far as what you see. So init containers, that
Mhm.
look okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it says command. So it's running a command like Terrell likes to do it, right? So all right, does that look
I
good?
I kind of feel like that command should be over some, but I'm not really sure on that. It might be right.
It's right. It's
It
right.
would it
The
would
spacing is
say
right.
it would say it's wrong, and you know it will be wrong is because it's going to say that pod cannot be created. So that we know that's not the problem. The
Right.
syntax and format is good. It would have been saying like crash loop back off or something like that if that didn't work. So
Cool.
so that looks
So
good. The syntax is fine. So that's checked here. So now we have our favorite shell, as far as command there. And so what's next? So we have the shell, and then we have echo welcome. So does the shell look good? Can we move on to the next line?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, this line. Okay, cool. So now it's echo welcome. So does that look good? Is there any problems with that here, or anything missing, or what you guys think?
I'm used to having it separated, to be honest, man. Like uh maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but and that could be right the way they got it with the echo welcome, but um for some reason I don't know why I'm used to seeing like a echo and then I don't know, it might be right. I don't know what I'm looking at right now,
I don't
to be
think you
honest.
Wait.
are.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
It seemed off to me the way it used to be laid out because like
We
the
just did an
command, but
echo
it used
command. We just did an echo the name of a thing, and that was just exactly the same.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It looks good.
Okay.
So remember we were talking earlier today. Shell what? Shell what? SH then what?
Oh crap, dash dash,
The dash C, right?
or
Hold
either
on.
dash dash
It
or dash
it was
C.
just yeah, it was an echo. I mean shell. Then it was
Then what?
Yeah,
what?
dash C.
Is dash C or dash dash? Okay, dash C. So we
That's
probably
that
missing that.
one dash. So now it's this is what it's looking for. So now if we go like this here, edited, huh? Right. So the deployment is edited. So let's go ahead and just see. That pod is not going to be found anymore because what?
You because you it destroyed the deployments because you edited the deployment. So it
Exactly.
destroyed the pod. I'm sorry, it destroyed the pod, and it's redoing the pod right now.
Right. Do this.
Mm.
You could put the W, right?
Why the or
So that it can watch it.
Exactly. This is going to command shell echo welcome. Yep. Let me see. Let's see if it takes some time. Did it go through now? Is it still saying not ready? Still
it's
saying
not
some.
ready.
It looked like something is still up with it.
Can you
So
go do describe again?
before we describe it, let's K get the pods, and
Okay.
you always want to see if there's anything ongoing. I want to see what's
Run it.
on.
Run container error now.
So there's a different error, and let's do what K. Let's see if the logs give us any details of that.
Mhm.
Right? So logs. Okay, so there's nothing there. Okay.
Hey, but did I not see something or different, or was it missing a volume? But I don't know. That's why I don't
Um,
even know. Do it even need a volume?
so like let's do another thing that you can do is K QTL get events. Sometimes that's helpful as well too.
Oh yeah, I didn't know about this.
Sometimes that gives us some information, right? And then what we can do is do this. I don't know what that did.
Switch to 5 is not valid on the server. What?
Let me see. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, get events. So there's a lot of events, and these are not in like order as well. So you got to keep that in mind. So okay. Looks like there's an error here.
You talking about the mount? It don't
Ooh,
have. I didn't see a volume when we was adding it.
Dorian container in it. Error mounting far lib kubelet pods. Mount. Okay. All right. So let's go back to that deployment. What is it? Blue.
Yeah.
And that's why we have to. This is very important. You have to look at the pod even after it recreates, because you don't know if what you did fixed it. So if you're speeding through and you're like, okay, well, I know the problem was the command wasn't right, I'm good to go. No, make sure that pod comes up. You can't just depend on what you think. So it
See
said
how
something
that
that
don't
it,
have. Oh, it
yeah,
does. I thought it did. My bad.
okay, and all right, it says progressing, so it's trying to create that file. So volumes we got. Let's just look at it. So volumes, we have empty dir and it's named shared files. So shared files, that looks good and is mounted here. Okay, and then a mount path, we have nginx config.
Oh, but we don't have a volume mount on the actual NIC container.
You don't the
Oh, you don't
container
need one?
themselves, they don't need. No, it's not a requirement to have the init
Okay.
container. Let's see. Now let's go back to what it said, what the error was, right? So I'm gonna quit this, and we got details when we did the kget events, right? And then I'm just gonna kget events, and then I'm just gonna dash dash sort by um equals uh, dot meta data uh, This is right. .metadata.creation. Could be wrong, but
Hey, wouldn't it be faster just to describe the pod and look at the event?
well,
I
remember the
mean,
pod you described it. Damn, I'm going to refresh it again, but it's not in there. We looked at it before and there was nothing, no details in there that it gave us. If we like edit it right, it's the same. I think it's the same thing. So if I do K describe deployment, does it give us any details in there?
We didn't describe, but I think he says describe the pod.
Oh,
Still,
describe
we describe
pod.
the pod itself, not the deployment.
What are they named? Blue, right? Okay. Oh yeah, there you go. So failed to run, unable to start container, error doing container in an error mounting varlib kubelet pods config map nginx to root fs. So if we go back there, it's saying something about a config map. Let's see, there's a config map in here. Okay, well, okay, so it's saying that there's a config map. One of those volumes are a config map, and that config map is named this, which is on here, Nginx config, so that's right. However, it looks like there's something that we need to go ahead and look at. What should we be looking at now that we have that information from that pod?
Is the config service like up and running?
Yeah,
I would
that's
check if it exists. The config
Yeah,
map even
does it even
exists.
exist?
that's what we should be doing. So should I be checking this as the config map name or this as a config map name?
I would say ooh.
The
Oh
second
no no
one.
no no no. I would say the
Desiree,
second one.
let them answer this. So I want them
Oh,
to
my
look at it.
No, it's
Well,
the second one. It's the second one.
wait, which is it? Which one is this one or this one?
The bottom, the very bottom one, it's the name of the config map.
It is?
I'm like 90% sure.
Okay. So that 10% is where it's go, you always got to verify, right? So
Right. Well,
when you're
and we can
I thought the
verify by going
name
to
should
get.
have been. I
so
thought the name should have been under it though.
the name and config map it's interchangeable. It doesn't necessarily care. That's like saying I need to have the name before a command. That part doesn't necessarily matter. But once you're declaring a volume, the name of this volume is going to be shared files, and I'm
Right.
using an empty directory here. I'm using a config map, but the name of that I'm naming this the volume is going to be nginx config. That's why when I go up here and I'm mounting it, the name of that volume that I named needs to match this name here. So it's lined up the same with config map. So that name is what it's looking for, which is just simply the name of the name of the volume, which is, remember, volumes, it's under here as the name nginx config. So the actual name of the config map is blue CNF. So we need to look for that and make sure that number one, it exists and it's that name. So I'm going to copy it.
That's what I was saying, PJ. Like
Huh?
with the config map, the name should have been not lined exactly up on the config map. It would have been
Right.
over two spaces.
Well, yeah, you're spot on then. Yep, you're spot on then. So now we're gonna go ahead and quit that, right? And then now let's do K get what? How can we get config maps?
Config map.
Yep. Let's do shorten it. You see them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I saved this here, right? I copied it. So blue,
Hey, I got a quick question about config map, if you don't mind. Like,
sure.
what did they do? Like, how? Because I know they use in tandem with secrets, right? And
Mhm.
as far as secrets go, I understand what secrets do, but config map, what exactly does it do? Is it like, is it
I
store
love the question.
value?
Yeah, great question. I'm gonna table that because that goes into like another thing. But great question, and I'll definitely answer it for you. Because yeah, what is the purpose of a config map? Exactly. You have secrets, and the secret is gonna essentially do the same thing, right? So it looks similar, right? The blue CNF. CKA 09. Okay.
I think secrets is used for different reasons than config files, if I'm not mistaken. Like you
Yeah, it is.
use
They're
okay.
different. Yeah, they're different. But so blue CNF, that looks like that match though. Let me copy and paste it. Let me see if I found it. It's in there, but it says it couldn't create properly. That's odd.
Did we already? Did you? I had to step away. Did you already look into what's in the config map?
That's that too. For the config map. So K, um, let's do describe config map. Um, you can
You
describe
could just
config blue.
use the
Blue.
blue and
Yeah.
then boom, yeah, blue and tab. Okay.
Okay. Nginx conf. Listening to var dub html index.html index.html index.php. Those look good. I don't see anything that's like concerning with that.
Mm,
Let's go back to
okay.
edit document. Let's see, and then file is looks good. Nginx, Etsy, user share Nginx. Now I'm looking to this now. I'm like, dang, I'm curious now what it is now because all that stuff did look right. Let's look into the pod again. Start that pod again. It says not a directory unknown, right? So volumes Nginx config, Etsy Nginx, mount var lib kubelet pods, volumes Kubernetes IO config map Nginx config, Etsy Nginx, Nginx.conf. So Nginx.conf. So it looks like it's something related to this mount path, I think. So let's do this. Let's try this. Let's remove that. It says that doesn't exist. I can't find it. I want to see if that makes any difference. This is a really interesting one-off one. So this is where we have to like kind of probe and read what it's saying. It's saying that mount to here. It's saying that this path right here, Etsy Nginx / Nginx.conf is not found. It cannot locate it. It's saying it's not a known directory. So it looks like it's related to that. So let's see what we get. So let's do get pods. And what do you have it? It's running. So this is an interesting
So the
one.
question is, so the real question, PJ, is how did you know to remove that? Is it somewhere in the config map or somewhere where you just knew to, delete the what you delete one of the Nginx, right? And just left
Yeah,
config
I
map.
removed this. So let's do a cat / Etsy, right? It's not SSH. Oh, let's do this. Let's SSH into no exec. It's IT
Into that pod.
pod, right? Mine and then, but if we're gonna exec into a pod that has multiple containers, remember we had an init container and then we had another container, right?
You gotta do
So
-C, yeah, and the container
just
name.
specify. We got to specify that container. I don't remember the name of the container. Oh my geez, this thing is killing me. Sorry about that, guys. It's okay. It's okay. Exact. Oh, let me do a describe. Wait a minute. So container is named Nginx container, and then look. It tells us it's right.
That's
It
the
tells us
path.
right here.
It's right there,
Yeah, it
ain't it?
tells it right here.
What the heck?
Exactly.
Hold on, what
So
you just did? Described it or something?
yeah, I described the deployment.
Hold on, is
So,
that because you changed it now? It's showing that?
no. That's how it was before, I believe. Or is it? I don't even know. Did
I
it?
kind of feel like because you changed it, it got the right information there.
Maybe. But remember, where did we mount this to?
I don't know what I'm gonna have to look at the video again. I didn't know. I missed the part when you deleted it.
See, because it's showing, right? It say
Yeah,
from.
actually, let's do it instead of describing, let's edit it, and it will show exactly what we saw before, besides the change. So let's see what happens. Edit, deployment, and then we went down here, and then I think we changed the where
Mount
did I
path.
change?
The map pad.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
it's
so the map pad. So the map pad was wrong, and that's why I was having some issues.
yeah, it was Etsy /Nginx/Nginx.conf, but
Oh,
so it didn't exist, which is what was the main problem. But the volumes
yes.
and all that, right? Because we did the right troubleshooting. We did the troubleshooting and making sure that the Nginx config map existed. It did. It had valid information in there. And maybe if we go in a config map, again, it probably can reveal some information. So get config map blue. No, I'm sorry. But no, that's even crazier because it's doing var www. So yeah, it didn't give us any details on there either.
See, and
But
that's the thing. Like, how would we know where to go look for the path at though?
so that's a
But
tough one. I don't think they're gonna get us on something like that in the exam, but it is definitely something to look for. But the way
okay.
I did it was we looked and it showed us exactly what was wrong. It told us what was wrong. It didn't tell us what the solution was, but it at least told us that file didn't exist. What we could have done as well is that would have been a lot of work, but we could have created that path like we did the echo welcome or something. We could have did like a make directory / engine Etsy / engine next, and then that would have made that work because that was the initialized. We could have added that in like the init command or something. I don't know.
Hey,
um
PJ, that wasn't the information we were looking for under the data inside of the config map.
no, it was that the data shows like dub var dub stuff. So
We look up a little bit.
where
Nginx.conf data
nginx.com. Where am I? Oh.
underneath data.
Oh wait, you're talking about in the actual
Yeah, in the config
nginx.com.
map.
Yeah.
That's the path that we wanted.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that this was an interesting one. But back to the question that was asked earlier, and because I did not forget, um, the reason for the difference between a config map and a secret. Number one, a secret is it's encoded, right? So that's valuable for information that's that we want to make sure that's not in plain text, right? The difference between a config map is this: config maps, you can inject configurations. It's in the name, config map. It's mapping a configuration or a custom configuration that you can have in a pod. Say, for example, we're using a Nginx pod, Nginx server. We're creating an Nginx pod, right? Using that Nginx image. There's a lot of default things in there. We can actually change and modify that stuff or that information in there. In this case, it's actually an Nginx configuration. It can be you can inject variables. So say you want to inject some environmental variables into your pod, which can be like a MySQL username or MySQL port or MySQL endpoint. You can specify certain things because say you may have different environments. So for this environment, I want to have these particular variables, but I still want to use that same base image of Nginx or MySQL, but I want to have slight tweaks. So for this environment and for this cluster or for this namespace or just this pod, I want it to have a certain configuration. You can modify that, by using those config maps that you can create, per instance, or per deployment, per namespace or per environment, whether it's like prod or something like that. So that's a difference. So and those things are not necessarily secret. So you don't it's not it doesn't matter if this is a secret, it doesn't need to be a secret, but it is a configuration that you need to have running. So that's the difference. How does the pod know to use the config maps and its environment variable? You guys are coming out with some good questions. I love it. So the way that works is there is, you can actually set that in your file, your manifest file. And that actually is going to be probably on an exam, possibly. It's not a guarantee, but it's a possibility. So if we go in the documentation, I'll just show you there. It's quicker. So you can set config maps as environmental variables within within the files. So let's do this. Config map or something like that. Let me see if it comes up. Configure a pod to use a config map. Okay. Let's try this one. This one looks like it might be it. All right. So there's multiple ways that you can set up environmental variables, right? So you can just do it like this way, which is standard environment name, like we did before with the color green and pink pod. But you can use config maps to do the same thing. So it's going to be an env from, and then it's going to be like env from config map or something like that. So let me see here. Let me find it. Is it in here? Okay, okay, value from. Let's see, kind. So I'm not searching through all those other ones. It's not this one here. Let me do config map. But I'm going to show you it. You can mount config maps as volumes as we just did. And then here, so kind.
There we go.
Is it here? No, that's not it. That's not
No,
okay.
that's not it.
Kind is pod. We're still looking for it to be a pod. There we go. Here it is. Value from.
Yeah, config map key reference. Oh, that's the key reference.
So environment. So in this, it's a list, so we can have multiple environmental variables. So in this case, we're naming that variable special level key. Value from config map key reference. So we're referencing the name of this. So this is the config map that we're referencing, and within that config map, there is a key named special.how. In our case, we have. It's not a great example, but for example, it will be like events or something, or the events, events is equal to HTTP. So whenever we're referencing this special key, that's what it's pretty much doing. And I can just show you an example right now. Let's create a pod right now. I'm going to create one with this stuff just to show you. It'll be real quick. So cat one.yaml. I'm just going to EI one.yaml, paste this in here, right? So test pod, test container, busy box. It's going to show us environmental variables. So I'm going to do whatever, my CMDAR, right? So this is what it's going to be labeled in that pod. So when I do search up the environment variables inside that pod, this is what this pod is going to be, right? So we're going to keep the same name, special config, and then I'm just going to put this as my key, right? So let's copy this. I'm going to save it. My key, and the name of that is special config. So I'm going to do k create config map special. Is it like special dash config or something? Let's see. Special dash config, and then my key. My key, special config, and then very similar to when we were creating the secret, right? So we can do dash dash from literal.
Yeah, there we go.
I just named it my key, right?
My key, then you have to put a colon in the value.
You do equal. So my key equals to I'm gonna do code. I'm gonna do K8s.
Oh, I thought you had to do a colon. Wow.
Nope. All right, that's created. So now we can do K create, K create minus F and YAML. Let's see. Let's see if it oh snap. You know what? Key my seam bar. Oh, you know what? It actually did it. I do K logs test. K logs test. We got my CM variable is equal to K's cadence.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. I thought it was wrong, but I forgot that it just runs that command and it just ends, it completes. Somebody said something in here. Next question. Does config map have to be in the same namespace as deployment using it, or it can be referenced from any namespace? I think config maps are namespace scope. Um, so yeah, that config map would have to be in there um for you to be able to access it. So and I guess we can, let's test by doing. And then after that we can go ahead and leave. So we can end the night there. But I love the questions. You guys are coming with really awesome questions. So now let's go ahead and create, and I'm going to copy the same thing, right? I'm just going to change some value. So I'm going to do a CP one to .yaml or something, right? So let me do a vi 2.yaml, and I'm going to do this name test. And then we're going to use the same thing, right? Same exact thing, and then we're just going to change the namespace. Do that by doing namespace. Do it in cube. So we're gonna do a create minus F2 for YAML. Let's see what happens. I actually don't know the answer, so let's find out. So K get pods minus namespace cube system. If it shows running, okay, create container config error. So it didn't do it. So let's do K K describe. So K describe K minus namespace cube system. Describe pod. And that pod was test two, I believe. Yeah. All right. What did it say? Config map special config not found. So you have to, it's namespace scope. So it has to be in that specific namespace. So your best bet would be to copy that to the other namespace as well. So it's able to go and create it. Yep. There you go. And again, the best way to do it is by trying and asking those good questions, because a lot of times I don't know either. And yep, it's only one way to see. So hopefully that was valuable for you all. If you guys don't have any other questions, you guys have any questions or any thoughts on our session today? I know this wasn't like the other ones, but this is, probably where you get more experience, by us just fiddling around. So did you guys like this format and stuff? I know some of you guys already have been experiencing with this. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. How was it?
I think it was
It was
good.
a yeah, it was a good session. PJ, I'm
Awesome.
curious if you could reference that namespace in the use the DNS name for the config map.
As always.
Ask that again. Ask that again for me. I'm sorry. I didn't get.
I'm curious in that when we
Mhm.
created that pod where you reference the config map, what happens if you add the namespace, like dot namespace, like actually use the DNS name for it?
Um, what is the DNS name for the names for the namespace itself?
For the config map, because it's in a different namespace, so you'd have to
So yeah, show me what you
specify.
want. I know I hear it, but I don't know how I would do it.
Yeah,
So
go ahead and edit that pod that we just created.
okay, test two.
Yeah,
Or okay, test two. Oh no.
space.
And system edit. test 2. All right, cool.
And then where we mentioned the config map,
Mhm.
is the name of the config map my CMV CMVAR?
So that's the name of the environmental variable that we're setting that my key value,
Oh
that
yeah.
my key to.
So special config is the name?
Yeah, the name of the config map itself is the special config.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and add at the end of the special config dot and the namespace that it's in, which will be cube system. Well, no, it's in the default, right?
Oh yeah, it is in the default. So yeah, it wouldn't even have to be named. I guess that
Well, because it's gonna look in the same one that the pod is in.
okay, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Cube system cube system edit test 2, right? So
Yep.
I get what you're saying. So yeah, so special and it's gonna
Config
be
dot default.
let's see. Remember what I said in the beginning? When we want to do dash force, we should also do what?
Grace period.
There you go. Grace period equals 0. And then the minus F for the file name here. Here. And let's see what happens. That's same thing. So it can't find it. And if we
Okay.
do, let's do this. kubectl API resources. And then let me like grep TM. So it's namespaced. This is what this actually means. Is this a namespace? Does this mean that it's only related to that namespace? So it's namespace. It's saying, if I go back to config map, it's true. That's another way to check that out. So when it says namespace, that's what that's actually saying. Storage classes, not namespaced. CSI storage capacities are namespace. Network policies are what? Namespaced. It depends on what namespace you reference that network policy is what it's going to apply to, right? So if you said one network policy, it's not going to apply to all pods, or all resources. So this is what API resources, is useful for. It's also useful for knowing that if there is a shortcut for a particular resource. So priority class, you can do PC ingress. You guys always see me do like you can do kget PO. I'm lazy, so I do PO. You can do SA for service account. CM, I did a kget CM, right? And the config map is what? Namespace. And that's pretty much how you can take advantage of the KAPI resources and how the
This is great.
names are actually like referenced. Yep. So yeah, man, it's always some gems that are, it's very intricate. Hopefully one day I'm I'm good enough to write a book on Kubernetes. So yeah, create my own stuff, why not? So, but you guys are like right there too. So the more you get in it, the more nerded out you all get. So again, great questions. You guys were asking. Was there anything else you guys wanted to know or talk about? Oh, Brian. Thanks, Brian. I think that's it. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and start in the session again. If you guys are watching this, from YouTube, definitely continue to, study, and you guys are doing, what you need to do as far as handling sessions and thinking big and not just answering the questions in CodeKloud. Let's do even more experimentation. There's nothing stopping you from diving deep into those clusters and figuring other interesting things that you have out. But again, like and subscribe. Be here for next week as we are more than likely going to be doing more sessions. So definitely beat me there. But all in all, thank you. And this is why we do it. So continue leveling up and see you next week. And I'm out. This is Payload Pat.